Hey, I'm live. You're finding this recording on the internet. I am doing a daily lesson in fingerstyle and classical guitar, and this is part of that series. I'm running over right now to update our website, which is denverguitarorchestra.com, with the link for this class so that those people who are going to be taking it can click on that link and join us. Every day I do a free lesson here. They are designed to take you from playing no guitar and knowing nothing about music to being a fingerstyle and beginning classical guitar player. I am using a program that I wrote, which takes you step by step from one chord songs to two chord songs into well known public domain songs, and then ultimately into the songs that you want to play at level 4, which include guitar and songs and guitar classics from all traditions. And by the time you get through level 3, you can play anything at level 4 and beyond. And we have orchestra here in Denver, the Denver Guitar Orchestra, and the people in it are lovely. And you should, if you live in town here, you should come check it out. If you don't live in town here, you got daily lessons here, and hopefully they make some sense. And so today is day 1 of the program. So I rotate book 1 just in an ongoing circle. It takes about a little over about a month to go through it. Sound as good? Hey, Elizabeth. Um, Chat room is back. I actually figured out what I did wrong to create the chat box to not appear in the previous lesson. And then level 2, let's see, level 1, it takes about 5-6 weeks to get through. Level 2 and level 3 each have about 20, 21, 22, somewhere in there songs. And I rotate. So obviously it takes longer to rotate through those books. And hopefully each day there is something you can find. There's military jets flying over my studio right now. Hopefully they're not out looking for me. Um, Hopefully each day you can find something worth playing, and at least at the very minimum use this time slot to get better. Hey, Elizabeth, I think you might be the only one logged in today, and so I'm going to teach it as if you are brand new. And Elizabeth is a very fine guitarist at this point, and she is a regular attendee of my lessons, whether she needs to be here or not. So let's talk about guitar. The guitar you have is the guitar you're going to learn on. It is not the right guitar. Okay, I teach this class all of the time here in Denver in a face-to-face community setting, and I have yet to have anybody walk in holding a guitar that makes any sense for them. So probably the guitar you have is way too big for you. It probably has metal strings on it. It's probably meant to be played by a man 6'6", 230 pounds, and it sounds amazing when you play it well, but it's a tough one to learn on. So just so you know, it's probably not the right guitar for you. However, if you are playing that guitar, that's your guitar. And so you play it until you figure out it's time to go ahead and plunk some money down and get a better guitar. And so the size of your guitar matters. When you go to Guitar Center or go to Amazon or talk to any music store person, they want to talk you into big guitars because they sound the best. But when you're learning a guitar, the biggest guitar and the best sound, you're not going to make the best sound no matter what size guitar they give you. And so you're learning, right? Second thing is, if you've got a traditional Western guitar, it's going to have a pick guard on here and metal strings. That's going to hurt the heck out of your fingers when you first get started. It's better to start on a classical guitar with plastic strings. But whatever guitar you have, that's the one you're going to use. So just be mindful that you might be playing on the wrong guitar to learn from. Second thing is plastic strings don't mean it plays some types of songs and not other types of songs. Same thing with metal strings. They're all all of these guitars can play everything. Evelyn, hey, what's up? Yeah, yep, Evelyn, yep. 1 day a week. If you're brand new on guitar, 1 day a week. That's all you do. So your day will be Thursdays. But we have level 2, level 4 on Monday, level 3 on Tuesday, level 2 on Wednesday, and level 1 on Thursdays. And then on Friday, we recap the week by playing through everything we played that week. And so that's how the online program's working. And if you're brand new and just getting started, you only need to come one day a week. But as you get better, or as you may want to come, you may want to log in for the more advanced lessons. Because once you figure this out, you can absolutely start jumping around levels. There's no reason why you have to finish one level before beginning the second, although it is easier and the system is designed that way. Let's see. So we were talking about guitar sizes, and that the fact is you probably have one that's too big for you, and it probably has metal strings. And the only thing that really matters on guitar is on the really, really cheap one, the action, which is the distance between, let me see if I can get this right, the distance between your strings and the fretboard. This little distance right here on super cheap guitars, this will be really, really high. Like they'll be really, really far away from the fretboard. And that's because they build them so that they don't have to throw them away. They're that cheap. So they put this action really high. So in case the neck is bent or whatever, it still plays, sort of. And so when you are looking at guitars, lower action is usually better. There are a couple exceptions to that. Classical guitar and certainly flamenco guitar, we want a pretty high action on, because on flamenco, you're hitting the guitar so hard, you need room for those strings to vibrate. And so those types of guitars tend to be higher set. But for learning, we want that action to be pretty low, and not electric guitar low, but pretty low. I would say if I took, I don't have anything to really measure this, but you can kind of see approximately the width there. That's hard to tell in that visual, but lower is better. And you can often take your guitar into the shop and say, hey, can you check the action? Can you check the strings and all that? And it's usually money well spent, because the strings on your guitar are probably 20 years old, 15 years old. Whenever you bought the guitar and put it under your bed, that's how old the strings are. And strings need to be changed once a year. And so we want to, if your guitar has strings that are older than a year, go by your local guitar shop and have them change them out. They charge $35, something like that, and then they'll double check the action. And you talk to the guy who's going to work on your guitar and say, hey, I want you to check the action. I'm a new player. I want to make sure that this is set up properly. People here in town bring their guitars to me all the time, and I set them up for them as best as that particular guitar can be set up. And I think, again, if I had my druthers, I would pick a smaller guitar for you, and I would pick plastic strings for you to get started. Once you get the basics under your belt, then you can, of course, switch to those guitars that hurt your hand more or more bigger or whatever. But when you're learning, a smaller guitar is better, and a plastic stringed guitar is going to be easier on your hands. This next thing, when you're talking about guitar, when I say that, I know you're going to play the guitar that you have right now, so that's perfectly fine. So let's talk about how you hold that guitar. Most Western guitars that have the pick guard on them over here are going to be held this way. Okay, this is the wrong way to hold a guitar, but this is how you see everybody doing it, because they're sitting down, the guitar's sitting on their lap, and then this ends up completely horizontal. Okay, and then in order to make that work properly, you have to cock your wrist here in order to get your chord shapes on, and that's not ideal. So I teach the correct way to hold a guitar, no matter what type of guitar it is to put it between your legs. Feels very weird when you first start, and get this up to be about 45 to 60 degree angle, somewhere in here. That's where we want the neck of your guitar, and that means the guitar body has to sit between your legs. Here's why that's okay. When you're sitting down and practicing, it feels super weird. Your legs are splayed apart, and there's this guitar in the middle, and you're pretty sure you're not being ladylike, right? That's the reason we have to do that is if you stood up, your guitar would come up like this. And if you're standing up and playing, you have a strap hooks on here, or sometimes down right under here. It goes around your neck, hooks down below underneath your guitar. This is how your guitar sits on your body when you are standing up with the strap on, even if it's an electric guitar. So when you play for an audience standing up, the guitar is going to be in classical guitar position, not horizontal like this. That's not how we play when we stand up. When we stand up, the guitar ends up in classical guitar position. So you should probably think about practicing at home with it in proper position. Lots of positive benefits of holding your guitar in this manner. The main positive about this is that when you get ready to do your chords, now your arm is straight, and that means you're going to be able to play longer without any kind of injury. And when your arm is cocked like this, it means that your fingers are going to be doing all sorts of weird stuff to have to compensate for this. And when your guitar neck is in the proper position, your arm is nice and straight. So now you don't have any tension over here. The other nice thing about this position is your right hand is going to come in, it's going to be playing. It's also going to be straight. So both of your hands are straight when you play in this position. When you play in this position, and I just showed you my knee, I'm wearing shorts. My wrist has to be cocked. My thumb is going to end up being way up above here to do the easy chords. Then when it comes time to do the hard chords, look what happens to my wrist. I'm just bending it like crazy. That's a bad angle on the video, but I'm bending it crazy like that. Then the other thing that has to happen is now this hand has to bend down like this in order to do what my right hand does, and so none of that's ideal. There's tension here, tension here. I don't like any of that. Okay, so give it some thought. Okay, once you get over this weird feeling of having your guitar between your legs, you're going to have a much better time playing. Okay, next thing is your left leg, we usually put on a box or a little foot pedal or something to raise it up just a little bit to help support the guitar. Okay. Right now when I'm playing, I didn't remember my foot pedal today, and so I'm standing on my toes, which again is not what we want by any means. There's a ton of tension in my calf because I'm having to hold up the guitar like this, and that's not what we want. So get us, just a couple books. Get the little footstool like all the music stores have, and then that will help you hold it. In the beginning, holding your guitar is a huge problem, and clear into significant years of holding guitars in your proper posture is something you'll talk about again and again and again. If I can get you at least knowing the correct way in the beginning, whether you do it or not is up to you, but this is the correct way, and it's going to make your life quite a bit easier. So we've talked about get a smaller guitar if you can, get plastic strings if you can, and hold the guitar like this if you can. All of those are ifs, right? You don't have to do any of that. You can make your life much more challenging and possibly more exciting if you do it any other way, but this is the way to make it easy. This instrument is incredibly hard. I've been playing it a long, long time, and I'm a long way from mastering it because it's just so difficult, and anything you can do to make it easier is something you ought to give some thought to. Okay, next thing about guitar, tuning. Okay, the phrase that pays, and in my local classes here, I make them memorize it. Okay, so by the end of week 4, I say, what's the phrase that pays? And they say, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. And that's how we tune the guitar. E, Eddie, A, ate, dynamite, good, G, bye, B, Eddie. Okay, E, A, D, G, B, E. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. And if you're at home and you don't have a tuner, you've got to tune to my guitar, and it's okay. Now, let's talk about getting those strings in proper tune. There's several ways you can do it. You could use the piano if you have perfect pitch. You hit an E on the piano and you hit an E, and then you pluck this and get them the same. Know that on a piano and a guitar, you're going to be down an octave from what you think you're going to be. So you're going to be toward the lower end of the piano, not clear to the bottom of the piano. But I don't know anybody who tunes it that way. Second way is to get a tuning fork. Back when I first started playing, and those came with all guitars. You got a tuning fork, and you hit your knee, doo, and you would hold it up against the guitar and go ooh, and then you would tune your A string to that E A D G B E. Well, you don't have an A string, right? Well, you have this A string, but it was too low, so you'd have to go to your G string, hold it here, and then that's the tuning fork that you'd be getting, and then you would tune all the other strings relative to that. In my book 1, it shows you how to tune relative. I do think that's a skill that's not altogether bad to know, because when you watch professional, like classical guitar players, when they're preparing to play a song for you, invariably they will check their tuning right before they begin playing. And the way relative tuning works is, if you are hold the 5 on the 6th string, 5th fret, has a dot on it usually. If you hold that 5, and it'll sound the same as the one below it. Same at the next string down is 5. Next string down is also 5. They sound the same. Now the 3rd string you have to go to 4. It's one of those weird things about tuning. And then the 2nd string is also at 5. So those should all sound the same. If they all sound the same, then at least the guitar is in tune with itself, and that's a valuable thing. So again, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5. Okay, and that helps you make sure the guitar is sounding. It's going to sound good no matter whether your one string is off or a little bit. You'll adjust them until they all sound the same using that system. That's called relative tuning. But these days, everybody owns a ClipOn Tuner. Now, this is one of the cheapies. You can get these on Amazon for $9 or $10. They are junk. This is not what you want. What you want is the round one, and it's called Snark. And you want the most expensive Snark. It's about $18, and it is high definition and chromatic, which means it can tune all instruments. That's the one you want. You will clip it onto the end like so. Okay, let's see if I can get some lighting on that. Just clipped onto the end there. Clip. And it knows whatever thing you're playing. So if I turn mine on, and there on a Snark, there's just a big gold button on the front. You hit that, and the meter will go up and tell you if you're high or low or right on the money. And so when you want it right in the middle of that, when you tune it up. Now, because I have one of these cheapies, which I bought years ago, and I just can't talk myself into throwing away, I have to go through. It's not very sensitive, and it's kind of wrong, and it gets kind of weird answers a lot of times. I'm noticing my guitar is a little sharp today, and but they're consistently sharp, so I'm going to go with it. If we were sitting in the same room together, we'd want to both be real close to being in the same tune. Well, we want to be exactly in the same tune, but we get as close as we can. And I'm playing a little bit on the sharp side, just a smidge. And so if there's a little variation between your tone and my tone, you'll know why. You have to tune a guitar every single time you play, and especially with plastic string guitars, those strings are very subject to the weather, and so you'll end up doing that. Right? Phrase that pays is Eddie, 8, Dynamite, Goodbye, Eddie. You're going to hear some stuff around the guitar world about alternate tuning. I would wait 10 years before I looked into that. Okay, you want to be a fairly decent player before you start messing around with that stuff. There's drop D tuning, and there's D tuning, and there are all manner of different types of tuning. That's meant for players who are fairly well along in music theory and in playing sort of higher level stuff to worry about alternate tunings. Honestly, I stay in standard tuning all of the time, and I still have plenty to keep me occupied. All right, we know how to hold the guitar. We know what guitar to have. We also know you don't have that guitar, so you're going to play with the one you have. We know how to hold the guitar. Whether you do it or not is up to you. We know how to tune the guitar. Okay, get a Snark. Promise you, it will make your life better. And so those are the first 3 things we have to know. Last 2 pieces of information are on the sheet music in front of you. So hopefully Denver Guitar Orchestra clicked on sheet music and then go down to level 1. And today we're playing Brother John. It is the first song in the series. I have I'm almost done with book 6 now. So I have a book 1, 2, and 3. Those are the first 3 you tackle. I have a Christmas book. I have book 4, and we're working on the second version of book 4. So that'll be 6 books in our series. And all of them have Avery on the front. Book 1, when we started in this, and Evelyn, feel free to send me a note. I can toss you a copy of book 1. Evelyn gets special treatment because she's in South America. We talked about tuning, talked about relative tuning, talked about posture, talked about sheet music. All right, so Brother John, there are 2 pieces of information you have to get out of this. This is day 1, lesson 1. There are 2 pieces of information I got to have you walk away with. 1 is how to read tablature, and 2 is how to form the E chord. Okay, so let's start first with learning how to read tablature. On your sheet music, you have some dots, which are the standard notation. I will use the phrase standard notation all the time. That's the chords and lyric line. For right now, you can ignore it. Second line down is guitar melody. That's the line we're going to work on right now. And underneath that is tough acts. You do not need to know anything about tough acts. Okay. On the guitar melody line, you'll see 6 horizontal lines going across. Those represent your strings. Now, in order to get it correct, you have to know those lines are backward or upside down compared to your guitar. So if you hold your guitar up like this to the sheet music, then it is correct. Okay, but you're going to play it like this, so that top string, the top line on there, 0240, 0240, 457, 457, that top line is your bottom string. It's this string. This is string number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the way of the world. This was happened in the early 1700s, where they decided this is going to be the way we're going to do this. Actually, the early 1600s, if I think I have my dates right. Early 1600s is when they decided that, because the very, very first tablature from late 1500s was written in a way we would think you would do it. But early on, they decided, nope, we're going to do it upside down. There is a pedagogical reason why it's upside down, and that's the one that stuck. And so all tablature is written with the top line is your bottom string, all tablature. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is with the right hand, we're going to pluck that one string. This is all we're going to pluck right now, just this one string. With your left hand, with your middle finger, you're going to press a 2. Okay. So your frets are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You probably have a dot on 5. 6, 7. You probably have a dot on 7. 8, 9. You probably have a dot on 9. And then 10, 11, and 12, and then you'll have some extras. Okay, you don't need these extras, but they're there for pretty. You hit the 0. That means when it says 0, you just hit the string open. Then it says a 2. I want you to use your middle finger, and note on the standard notation up above, it says M for middle. Okay, and then you're going to hit a 4 with your pinky, and then it's going to be open again. Second measure, and the measures are the vertical lines that divide it up. 0, 2, 4, 0 again. 0, 2, 4, 0. The next line at measure 3, it says 4, 5, 7. So take your whole hand, slide it up. 4, 5, 7. Do it again. 4, 5, 7. Next line, going to start with your ring finger. See, it says on the standard notation RPRMI, ring, pinky, ring, middle, index. The notes are 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. Then do it again. Ring on 7, pinky on 9, ring on 7, middle on 5, index on 4, and then open. Last measure, then measure 7 and 8. Something exciting happens. You're going to get to use the second string. So you're going to do first string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. Now, when we get to the end of that measure 8, there's a double heavy bar with 2 dots. That says, hey, repeat this whole thing again. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back up to the top and play it a second time. I'm going to play it crazy slow to give you an opportunity to play with me. Okay? 0240 0240 457 457 797 540 797 540. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. Okay? From the top, play with me if you can. Hey, I got to call you back. I'm finishing up the lesson. I'll call you in a few minutes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay? That's okay. Bye. My next guitar student, she always calls early. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, ready, play. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string. First string, second string, first string. First string, second string, first string. For this week, that's all you do. You just work on that one thing. Just making that tablature line, reading through there, holding the correct fret. Almost the entire song is on this string until the very end when twice you're going to hit the second string. And then the other issue this week that you're going to be working on is 797540. The hard part of the song needs to go twice as fast as we've been playing it. And so I'm going to play it for you the way I want you to work on it this week, and then you see how you do. One of the things you learn, though, is if you have to play one section twice as fast, maybe slow down the first section so it's a little slower, and that gives you a better opportunity to play the fast section fast. Let me play for you what I need for you to work on this week. 1. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, your thumb, it hangs out on the back of the neck. It's not up here. Don't put your thumb up there. You look ridiculous, and you're making your life harder. Thumb is back here, and it's going to hang out wherever your middle finger is. It's going to be right behind that middle finger. And that's what's going to happen. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your whole job. That's the job for the week. Read the tablature. It's all written down for you, so in case you forget, and then your job is to see how sprightly you can play that one little piece, just one note at a time. Once you do learn how to do that, you are set for a golden era of playing guitar. You're going to be able to play lots and lots of music, well, all music, to be perfectly honest, from tablature, and it's going to be beautiful. Other issue that we have to learn today, last thing we got to learn is an E chord, and that's the little grid. You see it all across the top of every single measure. E, 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 right? That's all those E chords. And so we're going to be playing that. You're going to, and these are hard. Third string, you see the dots on there. You see two white dots on the back end of that. It means open. Then you see a black dot. It's on the first fret, third string. And you see a black dot way up there. Use your middle finger. It's on the second fret of the fifth string. And then you're going to see a black dot right there on the second fret, fourth string. And then you're going to see a white dot on this top string. And that's this. Okay. Now, I don't want your pinky down under here. I want it right up here. I just don't want you touching anything with it. Okay. So there's your E chord. Okay. And then to strum, just down like that. Don't get fancy on me yet. Okay? This week it's Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, strum, dormez-vous, strum, sonnez les matines, ding, 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 dang, dong. That's all you're going to work on. Thumb down, just soft and pretty, okay, while you're holding the E chord the entire time. Okay. Next week, we will run through, we will revisit how's the E chord coming, how's reading tablature coming. Those are the two main skills. By the way, those will be the two main skills you use forever in guitar. So if we get it good and solid right off the bat, you'll be in good shape for the rest of your life. Okay, this first piece of sheet music is not what you wanted to play when you got a guitar and thought, I'm going to play whatever, fill in the blank from your childhood. We want to play this song, get the proper skill set in place, and then you're going to have a real nice time being able to grow with the guitar and spend the next 20 years of your life trying to master this thing. So again, here's your homework. Know how to hold the guitar. Whether you do it or not is not my decision. It's your decision. Know how to tune the guitar. EAD, GBE, 88 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. Know how to play Frere Jacques from tablature 0240024045, and try to get it up to speed, because next week we will play it at speed. And then the last thing is know the E chord. Okay, we have 4 chords we're going to learn in this book. E is your first chord, and E is one of the most important. You're going to play E chord every single day of your life in guitar. So getting that one under your belt right off the bat is where we're going to go. All right, that's it. That's how we get started. Step 1, get a guitar. Step 2, tune the guitar. Step 3, hold the guitar properly. Step 4, learn to play tablature. Step 5, start learning your chords. Okay, that's enough. That should get you started. Obviously, DeborahGuitarOrchestra.com has all of the resources and paperwork and blah, blah, blah that you need. And then also has my email if you need to get a hold of me. So have a wonderful day, you guys. I'm going to end the stream. Hopefully everything I said makes some level of sense. And then if you are level 1, just come back next Thursday. If you want to take a look at levels 2 and 3 and 4, we're here every day at the same time. And the schedule is on the website. So hope that's helpful. This is my favorite lesson. Elizabeth says, it's my favorite lesson too. I mean, the 5 things we do in lesson 1 are the 5 things you're going to do the rest of your life, and it's going to pay off quite well. So adios. Have a lovely time. I got to sneak off to my other lesson, and I will see all of you somewhere down the road. Have a great day.